Hey guys, it's Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I hope you never need the information that's in this video, and if you saw the title, you know why. How to keep your business successful even in tragedy, and the only way that you know this stuff is going through tragedy. So here we go. It's going to get really personal really quick. And just a side note, I want to let you all know that I will be talking about my personal religious and just personal belief system today. It is not to offend anybody. It is because this is real talk, and I would not be being real with you if I didn't give you all of the tools that I used and all of the things that brought me through this last season of like devastating tragedy to my family. I would not be being honest with you if I didn't include half of the story. So no pressure or anything like that. I'm literally just giving you the tools, all of which can be applied to your own personal belief system. So do with it what you will, but I really hope you're still friends with me at the end of this video because I do real and that's how I do. I don't like to be like, hey, I have all the answers, because I definitely don't, but this is what I've been through and what I'm going through, and I wanted to just kind of talk into that because I realized that there are a lot of people that deal with some of the things that I've dealt with, and that there needs to be a light that's shed on some of these things. So I'm going to do my very best to do this in one take, but this is my fourth one take. So I don't know how well that's gonna go, so just bear with me. And if I do cut out, it's probably because I'm crying. So yeah, just, wait for me and I'll be right back. Because I gotta fix my makeup. So anyway, these are real stories from my personal real life, so do with them what you will, but I really just felt like there should be some light shed on some of the things that I went through and some things that people go through every single day and struggle through, and I just wanted to put a light on it and just say you're not alone, okay? So the beginning of this year, 2017, I quit my job that I had been at for about 8 months. And if you didn't see that video, that was like one of my very first videos that I put out there, where I talk about everything, what happened, and how I left my job and how I make more money now. And it's amazing. It was an amazing story, but I did not know how necessary that would be for me at the time. I was just thinking like, hey, I just want to own my own business. I want to be able to be with my daughter more, because I have a beautiful 11-year-old daughter, and I was like, I just want to be with her more, and I want to be with my husband more. I want to be more present. I want to actually own the direction of where things are going, because I constantly was answering to somebody else about what I was doing, and it kind of got annoying, to be totally honest. I wanted to be able to set my own direction and know that I was going someplace that I felt like was good for me personally and for my business. So I left my job in February. In March, one of my really good friends, Barbie, and I've changed her name because I don't want people, like Googling her or some crap, but there will be a memoir that some friends of hers and mine, we were all very close friends, and we're going to write a memoir about it, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm not really sure when it's going to come out. We've just started, so it might be a while, but if you're interested in that, I will definitely be letting you guys know that it's out. It's going to be called The Adventures of Barbie. And so Barbie, basically, she was dealing with a lot of health issues. She had a lot of pain in her body. She was struggling with a lot of stuff personally and emotionally. And so basically, when it comes down to it, what she was really struggling with was anxiety. And I have a whole soapbox about anxiety because it's not cute. It doesn't make you seem like you're more busy, or it doesn't make you seem like you're more in demand. It's not a cute thing to deal with. And if you're dealing with anxiety, you need to let somebody know, because anxiety can lead to serious consequences. And Barbie's story is the perfect example of that. So anyway, my friend Barbie tried to take her life in March. We thankfully intervened just in time, and she was just broken. She was just having a really hard time. And she was beautiful. Like she got the nickname Barbie for a reason, y'all. She was tall, gorgeous, curvy, like, but curvy in the right way, like skinny curvy, you know? And she had that long blonde hair. Man, I'm going to tell you what, that girl was Barbie for a reason. Like she was gorgeous. And so basically she went into the hospital for about a week. And I went to visit her every single day. I knew that I was supposed to be there for her, that I was supposed to be part of her life. So, she got out of the hospital and we just quickly realized that her condition was more serious than we really thought that it was going to be. And, so we made a decision, my husband and I, as a family, to move Barbie and her husband, who we'll call Ken for this video, just because that's not really his real nickname. I just made that up. But, so anyway, we had Barbie and Ken and their two beautiful dream children, move in with us, and, just to help them get back on their feet. You know, financially they were fine. But Barbie was, you know, quitting her job because there was no way that she could work with the levels of anxiety and medication that she had to be on. There was no way for her to do that. So, so they moved in with us and they decided that it was time to start homeschooling their kids, and Ken was busy running a business, and, we really thought she was getting better. Honestly, we did. And she just struggled a lot. You know, we would pray for her. We would say encouraging things to her. We would take her out to do things, and she just struggled. She just had a really difficult time. So, they were with us for about 4.5 months. So about month 3.5, she had gotten significantly better. She had gone to, a retreat with Ken to kind of talk about all of the issues that she was having. She felt like she had made a lot of progress. She came home, I mean, honestly, like she had life in her eyes that I had never seen in her eyes before, which was amazing. So we began the discussions about them moving out and them getting their own place and, you know, really close to us so that we could still visit, because I'm not going to lie, like in 4 months of those little kids being at my house, like those are my babies. Like I love those kids to pieces, and, yeah, I would lay down in front of a bus for them. So, pulling it together. So, basically, I get a call one day, and, it's my mom and my dad, and, and they said, your dad has cancer, and that was so difficult for me to get that news. Like, I just sat silently on the other side of the phone. They probably thought I had passed out or something, because I literally didn't say anything at all while they were telling me. So, it's just a shock, you know, when somebody comes to you and says, like, I'm, you know, struggling with cancer. Like, I've got cancer. This is a big deal, you know, because it's not necessarily that, I mean, the C word is scary to get, but it's also the fact that there are so many unknowns when you hear you've got cancer, and like, how far along is it? Like, you have to wait for biopsy results. Like, this isn't a quick process. It's, you know, it's years of fighting. It's a lot of time of you, like, you know, you're in for the fight of your life. So my dad gets a surgery. I go away, for, I think it was like 4 or 5 days, and I go to Virginia where they live, and I stay with my dad, while my mom's working and help out. You know, I bring my daughter so that she can kind of give him a little bit of moral support, where I'm more the like, you need to drink something, you need to eat something. She's like, hi, let's just hang out and have fun and be together. And, so that was really good for her and for my dad, I think. So when I got home, Barbie's birthday, her 35th birthday, was September the 1st. So I kept asking her, like, you know, do you want to go out? Do you want to go do something? And she just really wasn't engaged. Like, I gave her a birthday card. She was just like, thank you. Literally like that. That's exactly how she was. And it was difficult because I was like, what is going on with her? Like, I can't see her anymore. She's like hiding from me. So, about 4 days later, not about 4 days later, it was September the 5th. She went for a walk and didn't come home. She had taken a gun with her and she killed herself outside in the woods near my house. And to say I was devastated is an understatement. Like, this is obviously really raw and really real for me, guys, because it's only November and I'm talking about this, but I really felt it was important. So so after we found her, and the cops show up, and it kind of feels surreal. Like, they're telling me, like, ma'am, I need you to leave the scene, and I'm like, I can't even move. Like, I can't even talk. I'm just I'm like sitting on the ground, like in a catatonic state, essentially. So we get back to my house, and a group of our friends are all sitting around. We're all crying, just, sitting on the couch. Like, there's nothing else to do but cry at that point. And I had work that day. Like, it was a Tuesday. And so my very best friend in work and in life, Tracy, was amazing. She had actually come earlier that day, and taken the kids, when we couldn't find Barbie and we didn't know what was going on. So she picked them all up and took them to her house. Thankfully, she only lives like 15 minutes from here. And so I called her and let her know what was going on. And obviously that was really difficult for her because her and Barbie were friends too. So she really stepped up, and, they weren't as close as me and Barbie, but she knew her. And so that was, really difficult because she's got the kids and she's, trying to help me make phone calls and all of that kind of thing. And so, so she let everybody know, like, Brittany's out of the office for the rest of the day. I put on an automatic email responder for anybody that emailed me that day, letting them know that we had had a family tragedy and that I would not be in the office. And those were just some basic things that I did, that helped me get through that day. Now, that week was ugly. All right, so that's the hardest part of it all. So we obviously had a lot of plans to make, being that Ken and the kids were in the house. I was kind of responsible for taking care of the day-to-day and helping him kind of get started on his single dad life. And P.S., he's done an amazing job. He is such a good dad. So after the grieving happens, then you have to deal with the anger. And let me tell you, I'm Italian and I have a temper. So I was mad. I was seriously mad. So I was like, okay, this isn't healthy. So, because obviously, like, this was Barbie's decision. She had a choice, so now I have to make choices based on her choice, which is unfortunate and sucks. So, at the same time that I'm dealing with the grief of Barbie dying, I'm dealing with the grief and the anger of Barbie having killed Barbie. All right, so the next steps that happened for me business-wise were kind of getting myself back on track. It was really difficult because, so everyone reacts to grief in different ways. The funeral was on a Saturday, and that Tuesday I was in counseling. I did not wait a long time. I did not give myself days and days. I went to counseling immediately, because I knew that I did not have the skills and the tools in my own toolbox to deal with this. Now, there was a lot of healing that happened through the funeral. There was a lot of healing that happened through being at my church that Barbie actually went to and was a leader at. And I'm also the worship leader at my church. And there was a lot of healing that came through us mourning her death as a family. And then there was a lot of healing that came just through my friends showing up. And so I had some amazing friends that came and cleaned my house. They brought meals. They organized everything. They took care of helping me clean out Barbie's room. They took care of making sure that the kids were bathed and dressed and looking like humans. They helped with a lot of different things. And essential oils, because my BFF Tracy also brought me her own blend of essential oils, and she brought me a grief blend and a blend she calls Mellow Mama, which I love. I was like rolling that crap all over myself, and it really did help me to keep it together. Because there were people I had to keep it together for. So a couple days after she died, so she died on a Tuesday, and it was like Friday before I really started work again. And at that point, it was really literally just catch up. It was, let me find something small and manageable. That way, if I, lose my mind in the middle of doing whatever I'm doing, it's not a big deal. Like clearing out my inbox and putting it to inbox 0. Now, some people don't do that, but I do personally, because my inbox is a to-do list for me. And so when there are 55 emails in there, there are 55 things on my to-do list. And so I don't like that. So I will file and delete and get rid of things just to declutter my own brain. I also did little things like taking extra long showers and baths, just to give myself a little bit of extra stress relief. I slept a little longer than I normally do, because I needed it. I was exhausted, emotionally and physically exhausted. So be kind to yourself if you're going through a tragedy. It was 2 weeks after the funeral. Ken and the kids pulled out to go and move to Indiana, and they're happy, they're doing great. For me, that very same day, me and Andrew and my daughter, Rael, pulled out and left for Virginia for 2 weeks because my dad was starting his chemo and radiation treatments, and he actually had to go to Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, which, if I can just take a second and brag on these doctors and nurses, they're amazing. That's one thing that we're still going through. It's not like this is like the completed, finished end of the story. I don't still know why all of this happened in the sequence that it happened. And also, during that time, literally the day that Barbie died, my husband had put in his 2 weeks notice at his job because my company was so successful and it was literally, we were doing so well that we were more than financially secure for him to leave his job and come work with me at the business. And so he put in his 2 weeks notice, and I told him the other day, I'm really grateful that you did that, because I think if you had waited any longer, that we would not have done that. We would not have made that change, and I needed him with me. And those were real emotions that I went through, and I didn't try and put this timeline on myself. And I think that that's the thing with when you're struggling through tragedy. Don't limit yourself on a timeline. Don't tell yourself, I need to be better by this day. Sometimes you just need a minute. Give yourself a second. I had an emergency plan, rough emergency plan, without really knowing that I did, because of the people that surrounded me, the support system around me. But if you don't have that kind of support system for your business, you need to think about that, and you need to make one. And so that's what my blog on Friday is going to talk about. I'm going to literally talk about all of the things that, since being through this tragedy, this emergency, this unexpected craziness that hit my life all of the sudden, I'm going to talk about some things that I did that I didn't even know were setting me up for success. It wasn't like I just went into this business going like, oh yeah, I know everything and I'm just going to do that. Like it was divine favor that I actually have a business at this point to talk about after everything that I went through, because I was radio silent for quite a few days, and any of you that work with clients know that doesn't work. But I want to tell you guys that tragedy is not the end of everything, okay? It's the beginning of something new. It sucks in the moment, but you have something to live for. You have something to look forward to. And the next chapter of your life is about rebuilding, and that's okay. People have to rebuild their lives all the time. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna make it through. You do not need to feel like, I'll never get through this tragedy. I mean, you'll have moments like that. Like, how am I ever going to get past this? How am I ever going to get through this? And that is the moment when you find out how good your support system is. So I would really encourage you, have a bestie that is a business bestie. Have a bestie that is a friend bestie. Have a bestie that is a counselor. Have somebody in your life that you know when tragedy strikes, these are my inner circle. These are my people that I go to. You know, I had a friend named Tracy who showed up, and like, honestly, she's the most selfless person I know. I don't even know what I did to deserve a friend like her. She's amazing. And she showed up for me when very few people did. And you know, there was one of my girlfriends, Alicia. She drove 45 minutes to bring me dinner one night and just sat there and talked with me and let me cry and let me be myself, and she didn't judge me at all. She was amazing. Like, and so those friends that showed up during that season, those are the people that I know. Those are keepers. Those are the ones that stick. If you are going through a tragedy, I just want to encourage you. You're gonna get through this. You can make it through. You're made of tough stuff. You really are. You're made of tough stuff. You can do hard things. You really can. And if you feel like you can't, or if you feel like you need to end your life, or you feel like you need to end it all, then you need to call the suicide prevention hotline, which the number is on the screen. Please do not neglect to do that if you're struggling with those problems. Please call the number on the screen. Don't wait another second. Call that number on the screen and allow somebody who's been through exactly what you've been through and lived through it to walk you through that situation. I really hope that you guys got something out of this video. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. I just want to remind you all that you are powerful, you're strong, you're capable, you're made of tough stuff, and you can do this. So go out and meet your goals, meet your expectations, and if you need an emergency plan help and how to write one and how to take care of it and how to have it ready to go, then make sure you look on BrittanyLeeThompson.com on my blog on Friday. That'll be available for you guys. So I hope this video helped, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.